you seen Star Wars?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have another live-action Star Wars series to talk about, finally. A new series called Skeleton Crew has just released. The 2 episodes dropped Monday night on Disney+. And I'm going to talk about that and my honest reaction to the show, because it really is not as bad as I think a lot of people were expecting it to. By the way, supporting this channel is free. All you got to do is like the video and subscribe if you want to see more Star Wars-only content. You can be an Only fan if you want to. That just means you're only fan of me. But anyways, let's talk about Skeleton Crew here. Skeleton Crew opened up perfectly good, in my opinion. This show is not a banger show of, oh my god, this was the best thing ever. But this is a very solid and fun show. It's adventurous, whimsical, charming, funny. It does give you that feeling of being a kid again. This is kind of a reflection of what it's like being a kid loving Star Wars. Wim, Neil, they both are, fans of the Jedi and whatnot. Wim really wants to be one as he grows up, or is fascinated with the Jedi, kind of like a lot of us were when we were kids. This planet, it does feel like Earth, and I think that's very intentional. And I know it rubs people the wrong way, but one thing I have to give this show credit for is the visuals are so beautiful. I don't think you really mind that kind of stuff, in my opinion at least. When Fern and KB are like driving through the neighborhoods and all that stuff, it felt very reminiscent of the prequels, honestly. This show looks beautiful. Comparing it to Ahsoka, Kenobi, The Acolyte, and Book of Boba Fett, it's kind of sad to see how this show, Andor, and Mandalorian look so much drastically better than the other 4 shows that we just talked about. So that's one big bonus I have to give this series so far, is in both episodes, every set, every location, every scene felt like you could walk in there and live there, and people have lived there. Wim's room looks and feels like a kid's room. His house looks and feels like a house that people live in. You don't get that with a lot of the Star Wars content anymore. People forget that this is a galaxy far, far away that people actually live in. This world, at Aten is what it's called, feels and looks very real. Let's talk about the characters very quickly. Wim, Neil, KB, and Fern, those are the main 4 characters that we're going to follow. Jude Law's character is Jod Nawood, or whatever the hell, it's an awful name. But anyways, Wim I like. I think he is a, interesting enough leading character. He needs to grow up a little bit. He's fascinated with the Jedi. He's so hellbent on adventure and getting more meaning from life than what he has on his home planet that he'll get everyone in danger to do it. Kind of a common trope in Star Wars. Neil is the typical, guys, we're going to get in trouble. I want to go home. I don't care about any of this kind of guy. Like that about him. He's cute. He's charming and wonderful. I love Neil. KB, I like her. The glasses, I think, look a little corny in her hair. I don't like the design choice with that, but I like that she's kind of like the tech person of the group and seems to be the most level-headed. Fern is the only one I don't like so far. I understand the whole I'm the cool one of the group and everything, and I'm the cool girl and all that. I like the dynamic that she has with her mom, where her mom clearly wants her to have a better life and is like, oh, I'm proud of you and everything, and she's being a typical kid where she's like, Mom, shut up, I don't care. We all get that when we're kids. I just don't like her constant trying to be cool thing. I think it's a little corny and cringe at times, but I also think part of that's going to be intentional. Hopefully that character has more growth as it goes on throughout the show. I mean, I thought it was cool that she became the captain of the ship and everything like that. But overall, these 4 characters I think are fine for this series. I literally have had no problem with them so far. Fern's just the only one so far that I'm like, not a big fan of. The planet, like I said, looks stunning, and there's a lot of interest on what's happening on that planet. They don't really mention the words New Republic. They say Republic, and I think they even talk about the work or whatever. There's a barrier to entry and leave on that planet, and the droids even say no ship is allowed to leave or enter the planet. They have Old Republic credits are in mint condition, and the pirates are freaking out about it. At Aten is apparently some mythological place with a lost treasure in it. So I think they're building a good mystery in this show already, while also having the main plot point be that these kids have left their planet and need to get back home. I'm in it, I'm down for the ride, honestly. One thing I also liked about the show was seeing families in Star Wars again. You guys kind of forget sometimes that this is a family series, and it's supposed to be about kids, adults, parents, grandparents, all that stuff. You actually see that in the show with Wim and his dad, Neil and his family, Fern and her mom, and all that stuff. They all feel like real dynamics that you would have in real world relationships. Also Wim's story pad, I thought that was so cool. I love the way they were doing that. Let's see what else. I would say that episode 1, it's fun, it's charming, it's simple, but it's not very impactful. I've seen a lot of high praise for this show so far. I think it's just a good time. I would give episode 1 a 7 out of 10. In the second episode, you get like the robot SM-33, and he was great. I like the voice actor. I don't know who's doing the voice acting on that, but he sounds amazing. And there's some things that are kind of fishy going on with the whole pirate stuff and everything. Like, I kind of have a feeling that Jod is Jude Law's character. I think he's the pirate from the first episode that like found the one credit that all the bounty hunters got upset about, and all the pirates got upset about, or whatever. So I think there's some fishiness going on with not only the pirates, but at Aden. The second episode, the location of this Port Borgo was really cool. And the scenes of these kids interacting, just going up to the bar, having food and everything like that, it all looks and feels very real. It's very entertaining and engaging, but there isn't the most substance to it so far. And also, episode 2 was like 30 minutes long. I think that runtime did hinder it a little bit, because after watching it, you're just kind of like, oh, that was it. The ending with Jude Law getting the key and everything, I guess that's, interesting and cool enough, but I think you kind of all expected that, at least off of the trailer. So, the first 2 episodes, they're very solid. This is not a bad show. If anyone's telling you this is a bad show, I think they're kind of just, like, people who are against the whole kid aspect of it, of, oh, I don't like it because of the kids and everything. I'm like, you guys not remember what it was like being a kid? Like, you can't watch Stranger Things and enjoy it because you're not a kid anymore. I don't think that's how that works. This show is meant to be for kids. This show is meant to be for you, the grown audience. For me, 25 years old and still watching Star Wars. This is meant for everybody. And for someone like me, it gives me that reminiscent feeling of being a kid, falling in love with Star Wars. Wim and Neil playing with lightsabers, and then the group of school kids are looking at him like, what are you doing, you nerds? That's how it felt being a kid loving Star Wars, at least when I was a kid. So I think the show is very charming. I like the simplicity to it. I absolutely love the visuals and how it feels. All the relationships feel real. The dialogue isn't bad. It's not corny like some of these other shows. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that this show is better than I really thought it would be. But this is only 2 episodes. We have 6 more to go. So we got a good 6 weeks now of this show and seeing what's going to happen with it. I don't have a lot of predictions. I think at Aden is going to be some secret like government thing that planet did, where they like brainwash the people and maybe wipe their memories and have some secrets about the Old Republic that they never wanted anyone else to figure out. I think there's going to be some interest in that. Jude Law's character, we didn't get anything about it to really be engaging and theorize if he's a Jedi or Sith. I don't think he's either. I think he's just a Force user. But the first 2 episodes in total, I give the first one, if you let me do the point system, like the 7.5, that's what I would give it. I would give it a 7.5, and then I'd give episode 2 a 7. If you don't let me cheat like that, I would say episode 1 is a 7, episode 2 is a 6. Episode 2 is just too short, not a lot of substance to it, not a lot of emotion going on so far in the show, but it's building the foundation. It's giving you that sense that you get with most shows where the character leaves their home, goes off on an adventure, and comes back at the end of it. And you have to build context, and you have to build a sense of loss with leaving that home and leaving their home planet. You have that. You saw all the characters at their houses. You saw all the characters interact with people that they love and care about. Their life is going forward. You have the context of the whole story and the planet. Now we're into the actual show. So I think next week's episode 3, you'll start seeing things pick up a little bit. I think this show is going to be perfectly paced, at least off of what we saw from the first 2 episodes. But leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you guys think about episodes 1 and 2 of Skeleton Crew? Did you like it? Did you not? Give me your rating below. And if you like this video, help me defeat the YouTube algorithm. Like it, subscribe if you want more Star Wars only content. I'll talk more about Skeleton Crew tomorrow night on the Chatooine Show, so be sure to tune into that. Another video coming up tomorrow as well, Star Wars only, here forever. May the Force be with you, my friends, always.